中共宣传喉舌《中国日报》近日捏造了一篇文章，标题是“英中应该聚焦共同利益”，还谎称是由前英国财政大臣韩蒙德勋爵所写，遭到韩蒙德本人亲自打脸，批评此举很怪异，并已经提出投诉。该文章现已被删除。AI 人工智慧聊天机器人 ChatGPT 近来引发热潮，有学生靠它写作业，有媒体让它写报道。不过，也有美国媒体测试发现 ，ChatGPT 很可能有助于中共等集权散播虚假消息，因为这种技术降低政治宣传成本，例如可写出多则符合中共当局政治宣传但脱离事实的文字，在国际社群平台上发动影响力行动。中共间谍气球入侵美国领空事件仍未落幕。美国一名高级官员日前透露，习近平事前对此事并不知情，这凸显了中共政府文职和军事高层之间的分裂。习近平不相信他的军队。不过，美国国务卿布林肯则表示，不管习是否知情，他都应负责。香港名导杜琪峰日前在柏林影展发表反集权言论后，微博账号遭到封杀。香港当局针对另外2名香港导演开刀，参加电影节的2部作品以审批未过为由，被迫主动放弃放映资格。其中一部影片去年获准公映，但香港电检处仍要求其删减社运、黄头盔等画面。有香港媒体人表示，这对香港艺文工作者会是一个警惕，中共未来恐将加大审查香港电影力道。新航亚太电视整理报道。
The first visit from a foreign minister this year. Chinese Foreign Minister Qin Gang and his Singaporean counterpart Vivian Balakrishnan met in Beijing on Monday. Calling Singapore an important cooperative partner that has long been involved in China's reform, Qin stressed the importance of China-Singapore relations as well as Singapore's unique role in regional and international affairs. Both two countries are looking to elevate economic opportunities. Qin discussed the importance of the Belt and Road Initiative and enhanced cooperation. For his part, Balakrishnan pointed out Singapore and China got through the tough times of the COVID-19 pandemic with friendship and partnership. He said he's looking forward to deepening cooperation between the two countries in various fields. Noting the current international challenges, the Singaporean foreign minister said his country will continue to adhere to multilateralism, safeguard free trade, and maintain the stability and smooth flow of the production and supply chain. The two sides also agreed to speed up the full resumption of direct flights to better facilitate people-to-people exchanges between the two.
2月16号，中国新浪财经表示，在去年中国吊销注销晶片相关企业达5746家，比2021年的3420家增长了68%。专家认为，去年美国对中共半导体的管制升温，是中国晶片企业大规模注销的一大原因。2022年10月，美国祭出新一轮制裁，围堵中共获取高级芯片的途径，并限制晶片制造工具的对华出口，在技术、人才、资本方面全方位围堵中共。
现阶段就是不管是在核心的一个晶片，还有在设备的一个取得上，其实都有遭到一定的一个难度，所以会使得他们其实在整体的一个营运上都会受到考验。所以就会有这个产生公司有注销的一个状况，这个在去年就会发生比较多。
除此之外，刘佩珍说，中国经济景气面的下修也是晶片业低迷的原因之一。
那因为去年中国也持续采取疫情风控的一个态势，那这方面除了对生产面当然有产生一些影响，那更重要其实是对需求端有产生比较重大负面的一个效应。
中共党魁习近平在去年底放开防疫管控之后，12月在中央经济工作会议上强调，中国经济面临总需求不足的重大问题，要加大科技和产业投资，超前开展所谓关键核心技术的研发能力建设。刘佩珍指出，显然中共希望在疫情解封之后，下半年消费逐渐回温，延伸到电子终端产品的需求反弹。但随着美国不断的加码制裁，并联合台日韩荷等半导体强国对中共进行出口围堵，他认为中国整体半导体业的发展还是会比较悲观。
就是美方的一些压力之下，其实各国也是面临选边站的一个问题，所以这个也比较不利于就是说中方业者想要在海外寻求一些资源。现在看起来，其实对于未来中国半导体业的一个发展，可能还是显得比较稍微悲观一点。
因为所有关键技术都掌握在外面，而中国现在还来不及建立自己的整套产业聚落的系统，因为这个产业被美国设计成整个生产环节被切割成好几段，每一个段落有不同的国家来具备主导性的优势，可是它没有办法主导整个流程，整个流程是美国企业在负责，所以呢，这种情况中国没办法突破，原因在这里。
新唐人电视台记者韩飞，特约记者洛雅采访报道。
A report recently released seeks to expose the U.S. abuse of hegemony in the political, military, economic, financial, technological, and cultural fields by presenting the relevant facts. It also aims to draw greater international attention to the perils of the U.S. practices to world peace and stability and the well-being of all peoples. According to the report, since becoming the world's most powerful country, the United States has acted more boldly to interfere in the internal affairs of other countries, pursue, maintain, and abuse hegemony, advance subversion and infiltration, and willfully wage wars, bringing harm to the international community.
The most favorite tactic the U.S. government used through the intimidation, political and economic pressure, embargo, blackmailing through the human rights issue, freedom of speech, democracy, and other related matters. The USA hegemonic and bullying policy globally will not take the USA too far, as the ramification of this action will imminent and severe.
Sigue habiendo pues esa política intervencionista, esa acción, ese tipo de acciones que conllevan pues a buscar mantener esta hegemonía y este sometimiento de los otros países para poder seguir disponiendo por un lado de sus recursos naturales y por otro lado de sus mercados.
America causes wars, creates displacement, creates immigration crisis that is directly led to human rights crisis. And then they tell us that we are not treating these refugees right. This hypocrisy is not digested.
A bus manufacturer in China's Jiangxi province is eyeing to further tap into the potentials of the Middle East market. An executive of Kama Business Bus said that the company's business has been gaining ground in recent months.
那其实从去年的第4季度开始，我们的车辆开始在海外的市场整体的复苏，特别是随着去年这个世界杯的开启。我们百路家有超过155台车参与了世界杯的运营，也变相的增加了我们的一个市场的效应。
As the local government is encouraging more enterprises to engage in foreign trade, the bus company is also beefing up production to better meet market demands.
那首先在我们接到了这个批量的海外订单的时候呢，我们第一就是要提前的把这些料给它备足，同时第二方面，在我们的人员的储备方面，我们也会做一些优化。那保证我们这个车辆能够按时的完成，来保障我们的这个交期。
Li also expressed confidence about the growth prospects of his company in the following months.
我们现在的车辆已经销售往了海外的32个国家和地区。从去年的11到12月份是我们集中接单的2个月，我们累计接到了超过300台的海外订单。今年在1到4月份的话，我们累计的一个出口额可以超过1.85个亿。超过了去年全年的一个出口额。
Only last September, Commission President von der Leyen stated that it was paramount to now investigate the Nord Stream pipeline attack and that any deliberate disruption of active European energy is unacceptable and will lead to the strongest possible response. The strongest possible response. Well, Pulitzer Prize-winning reporter Seymour Hersh, probably the most legendary investigative journalist alive, just published a report that presents detailed claims that, on President Biden's orders, the US, with Norway's help, blew up the Nord Stream pipelines. Hersh has a long track record of journalistic integrity. This was a premeditated terrorist attack on European critical infrastructure. It was also environmental terrorism. Does the EU care? Do you need to know who did it, or do you want to know? Hirsch says the US did it. Did you ask him? Did you ask them, did they do it? Or do you ask them questions anymore? Have we become so subservient? Has the EU become so subservient to US empire?
This was an act of sabotage, an act of unrivaled vandalism, economically and environmentally. Then along comes Seymour Hirsch, the world's most acclaimed, distinguished living investigative journalist. He produces a detailed claim that the United States executed this explosion with the help of Norway. Planned months before the invasion, a Norwegian Navy P-8 surveillance plane dropped a sonar buoy on the 26th of September, which triggered explosions planted by US Navy Panama City divers 3 months earlier under a NATO exercise. I don't know what happened, but I want to know. And I find it frankly jaw-dropping that the EU is not asking questions as to who is responsible for sabotaging the livelihoods of our citizens. I am ashamed to be a European.
Well, nearly a year has passed since the onset of the Ukraine conflict. That is why Hungary and China called on all peace-loving nations to help bring an end to the hostilities. China's top diplomat Wang Yi and Hungary's foreign minister Peter Szijjártó said that they would like Ukraine and Russia to come back to the negotiating table. Today there was no talk of weapons, but rather finding a political solution that would benefit both Europe and the rest of the world. Now, Mr. Wang Yi is set to travel this week to Moscow. This will be the first time that he goes to Russia since the beginning of the Ukraine conflict. Mr. Szijjártó also thanked China for its support during the COVID-19 pandemic. China provided vaccines and also PPE, personal protective equipment, and Mr. Szijjártó said that this helped save hundreds of thousands of Hungarian lives. He said that the relation with China will continue to be warm and will